Hey YouTube, Red Quill here, and back for another video. So this video is going to be very different than my standard videos about either my webcomic or other artists. I had a big personal event happen to me this week where I lost someone who I've known my whole life, and I just kind of want to talk about something that I think is now very relevant to me, which is how to carry on someone's memory after they're gone. The person who passed away in my life has always been with me ever since I've been born, and they always made a point to make sure that I was always well taken care of, and they were, no matter what it was, they were always willing to help, whether it be a financial problem or just trying to make sure we had a good time on the holidays. And I'm sure, as some of you who are in similar situations might realize, that, well, the hardest part of when you actually do lose someone in the situation, at least for me, has been that trying to realize that unless you find a way of trying to let their life impact how you live on, everything that they stood for might be forgotten. After everything my relative did for me, I feel like there at least a kind of obligation, or really just a strong desire to find a means of carrying on how they've impacted my life in a positive way, and help show that to others by either changing how I'm living now or at least doing something to alter my life to carry on their legacy. One big challenge I have in carrying on my relative's memory is we were vastly different people. Everything this man did was really ingrained with his deep faith in religion. And while he was a very kind person, and I think he really genuinely wanted everyone around him to be in good spirits and happy, I definitely think a lot of his whole moral system and how his life choices were based around his belief in a God. However, I really can't, I really don't follow in those footsteps, as for me that it's definitely not something, or religion isn't something I really believe in, nor do I think that's really going to change at least anytime soon. So and like the closest thing I could say I have to like a life philosophy in replace of religion is the fact that I do realize that life is a very precious resource, and as far as I know, this is all I have, the time I'm spending on Earth now. So I try to put my best effort into the things I care about to try and accomplish goals I have. This is part of why I'm trying very hard to get better at doing comics, because I have some story ideas I'd like to implement before I die. But again, this complicates how I can really carry on the memory of someone who, while I really appreciate their kindness and their overall generosity with how in which they live their life, we, at a fundamental level, are very different people. As in, this relative gave a lot of his life back to the church, and for me, I don't think that's the right path. A big part of why I like art, and why I've really been getting into it for the last few years, is I really do believe it's a great way of presenting both ideas and feelings you have, and helping to preserve them in at least a semi-permanent way. Which, and like, as you can see in this video, like, I made a drawing trying to help articulate how I kind of feel in the situation, and what my mindset I think should be moving forward. But ultimately, I really don't think this is just drawing a picture about this is really going to make up for carrying on the memory of someone I've known for at least really the course of 2 decades. So what will I do? Honestly, I'm still gonna have to keep thinking on this one because I'd like to do something a little bit more significant than what I'm currently have in mind. But at least for now, I'm gonna try and do 2 things to keep up his memory. While I like to think I'm already doing this, I definitely could be better about being more generous and I guess trying to make sure the people in my life view me or have the same feeling about how I treat them as I did with my relative. I know it's a long way of saying it, but I really, whenever I was around this relative, I always felt really welcome. And despite the fact, as I mentioned, we were very different people, he treated me always as a loved one. And I think, I mean, you would think it'd be easy, but I'm gonna, even for people who, in my life who might, I find to be difficult to interact with, I'll try to make sure that I am carrying on this characteristic and will try to be there for them. And the other part of what I think I'll do is this might not be something my relative would have wanted, as we are very different. We have very different life philosophies, but I really did respect him for sticking, even though I don't believe in his religion, I definitely respected him for sticking true to his belief system. I feel like there are a lot of people who will say one thing and then live another. And while, like, I think he'd be disappointed to know that, or like, that I'm gonna continue to not join his religious beliefs, that I think it's at least gonna reinvigorate my motivation to live my life to the fullest based on the standards I have. Meaning he lived his life, his entire life, firmly in his belief set and stayed true to it. And I think I'm going to try to do the same in mine, even if that belief set is fairly different. And this means just trying to accomplish some life goals I've set for myself, which, while I would have done it anyway, I think I'm going to at least kind of tie it to, in part, trying to, I guess, carry a bit of this relative's memory with me in the process. So, yeah, I know this was pretty much a rambling video, but it was still one I kind of wanted to make after everything that's happened. For anyone else who's lost someone either recently or in the past, yeah, I'd be interested to see how you tried to handle this situation. Did you try to change your life in any way to carry on someone's memory, or did you find a different way of coping? If you're comfortable mentioning this, leave it in the comments below. But otherwise, I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.